Okay, so this video is going to be the video that goes over how we recommend setting up your work calendar. For the sake of this video, we're going to assume that this is what your calendar looks like sitting here. To begin, I will say you don't have to use Google Calendar. I know that there's like old-fashioned paper and pen, which I also do that. So my calendar's here, and then I just make quick notes on my paper and pen calendar at home just to make sure that everything's covered because that's how I am. That's how I hold myself accountable. There's also calendars on your phone, calendars through a different email if you don't have a Gmail. So don't feel like this is necessary, but I just recommend Google, especially if you don't have a Gmail account. I recommend getting one only because the majority of people have Gmail accounts. So one, with your clients, you're going to be able to share calendars with them. So when you put them in, you can share those specific post dates with them. Here in the office, you will eventually, we're planning on the next few months getting all of our consultants' Gmail accounts anyways with K Michelle Photography. So you're going to have to get used to it at some point. So I recommend making one now if you don't have one and just working with it. If you already have an account set up, I promise you it's not a big deal. Just get a hold of me, Kate, in the office, or send me an email, send me a text, whatever, with the Gmail account that you have set up so we can just remake your account. It's really not a big deal. It is highly recommended, but well, if you have any questions on that, we can just go over that later. Okay, so sitting here right now, we're going to assume that this is what your calendar looks like. We're going to go ahead and I am just, so it doesn't get too overwhelming, I'm just going to delete this and we'll re-put it in. So let's assume that we are sitting here on July 1st. And this is where we're with them on July 1st. Let's say it's a restaurant. I always use restaurants as an example, I know, but it's just consistency. And we're sitting there with the restaurant owner, and he decides that he wants to do package number 1 for 1 month just to see how it goes. What we're going to do at that point is we're going to come in, we're going to hit more options. Let's do company D. It does repeat, right, because we are on a schedule with them for that first 4 weeks. Let's say, they get 3 posts a week, so we're going to sit there, and this is where we decide which days we're going to do with them. Let's do Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And then the ends, because they're only signed for 1 month, I do it for all the months. So if he decided to do it for 3 months, we would go out and we would go till September 30th. That way it just mass imports and everything's covered. I don't ever do shorter than the amount that they're signed for, and I never do longer than the amount that they're signed for because then they could just get more out of me. So right now we're saying that he signed for 1 month. That's the end of July. That's the end of this month. So we're going to hit done. We're going to change the color so that it stands out and none of them blend together. We're going to hit save. Okay, so another thing that I will point out about when you're scheduling the days of the week that you're going to post for this company, there's 2 ways to do it. You can overload on certain days and have certain days completely off, or you can look at this, right? Let's say that we were going to go in with a 5th company. You can look at this and go, oh, it looks like my Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday are pretty open. I don't want to feel overwhelmed on those other days. And you can push to maybe persuade one way or the other, right? So you should always have a calendar with you when you're sitting there with that client, just so you can at least discuss which days of the weeks that they want their post to happen. Because, like, for example, with restaurants, a lot of them have live music, right? So they maybe want their 3 posts a week on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Or maybe they do like a trivia night on like Wednesday. So they would want a post on Wednesday to promote trivia, and then Friday and Saturday to promote their live bands. It just is up to you guys. Always bring a calendar. Always have an idea of what you can actually offer. And definitely obviously it's your calendar. So if you want to try to push one way or the other and they don't really care, then you choose Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, because you can see that there's not much going on those days. It is just completely up to you. Now, another thing that you're going to want to make sure you get on the calendar right after that is decided is a photo shoot. You contact the office to schedule that, and we go back and forth. That's why when you solidify a package with that customer, the order gets placed and the email gets sent to me here in the office and the client. It's important that we have our own contact information back and forth so that when scheduling photo shoots or issues arise or anything like that, we can have contact with the business owner and they feel comfortable with that. So when we go ahead to schedule a photo shoot, you get an idea of when that would work for them. If they have any restrictions, you let me know. If they don't, and you're more than welcome to come along with the photo shoot, you are not obligated to. If there's no restrictions, I then reach out and schedule a time with that business. Or I reach out to another consultant that we're contracted with that does marketing photos for us. So that just is something that needs to get scheduled right away as well. We always want to do it right here in that first week. So let's say that we schedule it for the 7th. And we will go Company D photo shoot. We're going to make it the same color and we're going to save it. So there's 2 photo shoots that day for the office. One would probably be in the morning and one would probably be in the afternoon. Okay. Another thing to think about having to get on the schedule, and this is also a communication with the office, this is when we talk the most, if they choose a larger package that needs videography done. That is something we want to get on the schedule within that first 2 weeks as well. So obviously for the sake of this example, that wouldn't matter. But as you can see, for Company C, photo shoot and video were scheduled on the same day, so the photographer and the videographer would just go together and work together. Okay, so moving forward, if he were to schedule for multiple months at a time, they would autofill like these ones did. I go through and I make sure, so I know with package 1, 3 of those posts are going to be media based, right? Photos. So I'm going to go in and I know that the photo shoot's this day, so I probably can count on getting the photos back on the 14th. So you're going to get the photos back usually within that week. So you can make, as of right now, any of the post dates after that photo based. And you know that he gets 3, so we will just make 3 of them photo based. If there was video, we would probably make this one down here video just because it is the furthest away, but it still gets to be put in that month. So that's something that you want to also make sure that you have set for yourself, so you know that you have written down all of the stuff that they are offered in the package that they purchased. For the sake of this video, I did just do the smallest package so that it's not all drawn out, but obviously if you have any questions, please just reach out and we can get them answered. So now at this point, when I'm sitting with a client, I know which days of the week I'm posting, how many days a month I'm posting, on what days what I'm actually posting, and I know that the sessions to get the media that's needed is scheduled. This usually helps me feel less overwhelmed because if you wait a couple days or you make a note to do it and then you forget to do it, you automatically will feel behind. So I promise it is going to be so beneficial if as soon as that is decided, you write down which day. You don't even have to like do all your calendar stuff in front of the client, but as soon as you get home, I would ask them all these questions and know all the answers to all these questions so you can go in right when you get home or right when you get off the phone and you can get this done because it's going to help you stay on top of your stuff and hold yourself accountable. And there's nothing worse than getting halfway through the month and going, holy cow, let me scroll back on these Facebook pages and make sure that I posted for the company. And it just helps us look organized and it's a quality control thing. Another thing to watch out for is sometimes when you autofill, there are more days of the week that repeat during certain months, like an extra Friday or things like that. So I go through after I mass import and I go, okay, so package 1, that means that they get 12 posts per month, and then I set it for Wednesday, Saturday, and Monday. Oh, did I? Hold on. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Yep, okay, I was right. Okay, So then I go through and I go, okay, so I know that they have posts on Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, so I'm going to count them, right? This one doesn't count because it's a photo shoot. There's 2 in this first week, but then there's 3, so 5, 8, 11, 13. In this month, there is an extra post. You get to, at that point, decide if it's worth it for you to keep up the consistency with those days of the week, just posting 1 extra for them. It's not going to be the end of the world, I promise. If you want to stay to exactly what they're offered, never post less, but if you post a couple more, like I do it every once in a while, especially with the bigger packages, it just gives me more opportunity for posting photos and video clips. But if you want to stay exactly to 12 posts, just get rid of 1. I recommend not on a busy day. If this was like a real case scenario, I would probably get rid of one of the Monday posts, and then be careful when you go into the next month to do the same thing. If it's one of these reoccurring, just count and make sure that so you know how many posts you're actually doing for them in a month. That is something that we run into every once in a while. I don't ever mind doing an extra post or an extra couple posts a month for a client, especially if they're only doing 1 month at a time. If you worry about a little thing like that, it might turn them off. So it's just something to stay focused on. It might be a little harder to get them back on a consistent subscription or something like that. So this is just the basis of how I recommend setting up a calendar and what calendar bases to use. I love Google Calendar. You can share it with the office. You can share it with your clients. You're going to have to probably do it eventually because we are going to assign Google accounts to everybody here in the next few months probably. So it's just something to keep an eye out on. If you have any questions, like always, just send a text to the office or a phone call to the office or an email, and we will get them answered. Thank you very much.